Hello guys, welcome to our channel kroniqverse. Today there is a motivational story for you. So let's start it. The invisible promotion Avenir Tech was a company obsessed with Rockstars. The walls were covered in posters of Disruptors, and the monthly MVP award usually went to the loudest person in the room, typically Julian, a senior developer who spent more time talking about his synergy than writing clean code. In the corner of the open plan office sat Arthur. Arthur was a gray suite employee. He was a lead systems architect who had been with the firm for 8 years. He didn't have a standing desk, he didn't wear bright sneakers, and he rarely spoke in meetings unless he was asked a direct question. The invisible work for years, Arthur was passed over for the director of engineering role. Each time the feedback was the same. "You're technically brilliant, Arthur, but we need a visionary. We need someone who commands the room." Arthur didn't argue. He went back to his desk and continued his invisible work. He stayed late on Tuesdays to mentor the junior interns whose code Julian had publicly mocked. He wrote the Bible, a massive internal document that simplified the company's messy legacy code so new hires wouldn't feel lost. He quietly fixed ghost bugs in the middle of the night so the sales team wouldn't have their demos crash the next morning. To management, things just worked. They assumed the system was naturally stable. They didn't realize Arthur was the glue holding the cracks together. The Great Collapse. The breaking point came during the global launch of Avenir's new cloud platform. The CEO had invited the press, and Julian was on stage ready to click the ceremonial Go Live button. But when he clicked it, the screen didn't turn green. It turned a pulsing digital red. The servers had hit a recursive loop that no one had anticipated, except Arthur. Arthur had flagged this exact vulnerability in a report 6 months ago, a report that the visionaries had marked as too technical, low priority. The office descended into chaos. Julian was shouting at the servers. The CTO was pacing the floor. The CEO was sweating under the camera lights. The 5 minutes of silence. Arthur didn't shout. He walked to the server room, opened his laptop, and pulled up the Bible. Because he had spent years mentoring the junior staff, he didn't have to do it alone. He sent 3 short Slack messages. 3 junior developers, whom Arthur had empowered, knew exactly which subroutines to shut down because Arthur had taught them the architecture months ago. Within 5 minutes, the red screen turned green. The launch was saved. The realization. The next day, the CEO called Arthur into his office. "Arthur, we've been looking at the logs. We saw that you and the juniors fixed the crash before the CTO even knew what was wrong. And I finally read your Bible document last night." The CEO looked embarrassed. "I realized that for 3 years, I've been looking for a director who could lead a department. I didn't realize you were already carrying it. I thought your silence was a lack of ambition. I see now it was actually a sign of total control." The promotion Arthur was offered the director role, but he did something unexpected. He accepted, but only on the condition that he could rename the role to Chief Support Officer. He didn't want a stage. He wanted to make sure that the people who did the invisible work were finally seen. The morale. True leadership isn't about the noise you make. It's about the gap that would be left if you were gone. Some of the most important people in the world are those who prevent fires, rather than those who get the credit for putting them out. Thanks for watching this video. We will meet you in the next video. Bye-bye.